The Morgan dollar is the #1 vintage collectible coin ever made by the U.S. Mint. And that was just out of the information from the 2017 survey, where all coins were added together, and the Morgan dollar beat it by over 50%. We love it because it's the largest silver coin that ever circulated. It was that coin that circulated in the Wild West when we were expanding our country. Tonight, we're going to talk about that fabled mint, the Wild West Mint of Carson City, but one better, the last coin they ever made. So the Morgan dollar came out of, let's go back and talk just a little bit of history, and we'll get to this coin as part of the process. 1849, we have the big gold rush, right? California gold rush, dig for gold, mine, pan, etc. It's out there, we're going to find it, right? Shortly thereafter, we find the largest silver hoard vein deposit in U.S. history, called the Comstock Lode. Up until this time in U.S. history, we didn't really have a silver dollar. We had them intermittently, but we never had them for an extended period of time. When the mint opened in 1793, they made a couple of silver dollars, and by 1804, they stopped, right? And then they brought it back in the 1830s, 1840s, and it was spotty here and there. But now we have enough silver to where, one, we can make the Spanish coins and the English coins no longer legal tender. Did you know that it was legal tender in the United States up until 1857? If you were using Spanish, the reals, and or the silver out of England, which is based on the crown. Right? So, interesting stuff. Well, we finally have enough. So we're going to make a new silver dollar. Alrighty. We hire George T. Morgan to design the coin. Ding, ding, ding. That's where the word Morgan dollar comes from. It's named after the designer. We start making these in 1878, and we make them through 1904, and then again one more year in 1921. A crazy story. If we have time, we'll get to it. So we have 27 consecutive years. Philadelphia and San Francisco struck one every year. New Orleans made 26 coins, starting 1 year late and ending 1 year early. And then there's the fabled Wild West Mint. It's kind of like silver was found in the Comstock Lode, and right down the street we're going to make a mint. That way we can put them in the coin. The unique thing was we didn't make any other coins other than the Morgan dollar at the Carson City Mint from 1878 till when it closed in 1893. If you add up all the Carson Cities made those 13 years, it amounts to less than 3% of all the Morgan dollars ever struck. So we have 13 Carson Cities, 1878 to 1885. Then the mint closed for 4 years. And then it reopened in 1889 until 1893, and it closed for good. So the last coin made at the Carson City Mint is the 1893 Carson City dollar you're looking at right here. As you'll notice, all of our coins are homogeneous, which means the obverse and reverse are going to have that same look and feel. Many of us that have been on the show circuit have looked at one side and said, I love it, turn it over and say, I don't. Our kick-out rate's over 80%. The coins that we see, we keep. Because we know one thing. When it gets in your hands, we want it to stay there, which means it has to be a stellar circulated coin. But here are some of the pieces of information nobody talks about, especially in the 1893, especially in the Carson City field. It is the 5th lowest of all mintages in Carson City, right? The 85cc is the lowest. The 81 is right behind that. The 89 is right behind it. Then the 1880, and then the 1893. Now, I'm a numbers geek. And what I mean by that is I look at the numbers that are available to me, and it helps me understand why I see or I don't see coins in the marketplace. And again, being active, going to shows since the early 1980s, so I've seen a lot over the years, and many have seen more than I. But you get to have a one constant flow. And understanding that there are certain coins you just don't find. This is one of them. But if you look at population, if you look at mintage figure, which is the first place to look, how many did they make or how few did they make? This is on the how few side, right? It is the number 5 Carson City, and it is a beautiful coin. If you look at the other 4 that are lower mintage figures, but you go to NGC, you go to PCGS, and you look up how many coins they have seen over the last 38, 39 years that they've been doing this for us in the industry, you'll be amazed. 85cc, just shy of 60,000 coins. 81cc, 75,000 coins. 83cc, I'm sorry, the 89cc, number 3, 16,000 and change. And then you have the 1880cc at 39,000. That was 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the lowest minted Carson cities. Now we're applying second level information. This helps us equate. And then you look at number 5. This coin, number 5, is actually rarer than the other 4 in frequency of seeing. It's give or take 16,000. It's about 75 coins less than the 89cc. And that 89cc, $17, $18, $2,000 coin, correct? This is actually rarer. All facets. Everything proves it out. And if you've been out there, you know the answer too. Plus, it's the end of an era. It is the last coin ever struck at the Carson City Mint. The fabled double CC above the D and the O in dollar, as you see here on the reverse of the coin. And then there's one more thing to add to the chapter that just makes it more of a, interesting. So in 2021, the U.S. Mint did what? We brought out a coin to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the last Morgan. 2021. And they decided to make all 5 mints that ever made the original Morgan. So we're just chopping, right? So on May 24th, they launched the Carson City version at 175,000 coins. And it sells out in less than 3 minutes. And today, my competition sell that coin for $500. There's 175,000 of them they made just a couple of years ago. This one, there's less than 16,000, according to the experts, on the marketplace, in flow. It's also 100 and how many years old? 125 plus years old. And it's kind of the same price. Guys, 30-second clock, please. Sorry, I blew through a couple of stop signs. Got carried away in my numbers. My competition has this beauty. $9.99. They're under 1,000. Yes, they are. We're under 600. $400 less. Actually, by working with us tonight, you can buy this one, and then you can buy the brand new CC and have money left over. It's just a great opportunity for an end in U.S. Mint history. For the end of the Carson City Mint, the chapter is over. This is the coin that did it.